Getting into making foam armor is intimidating, but I'm going to hopefully give you the confidence to start your first armor building journey. So before you start, let's go over the tools and materials you need and why. PPE, safety first, please. This is a very toxic hobby due to the materials and fumes. Get yourself a respirator mask, goggles, eye protection, gloves, and choose a well-ventilated area. When working with foam, do so where there will be airflow, open windows, doors, a garage, outside, fans, whatever is going to be less fumey for you when you're working. The fumes are not safe for humans or pets, so keep them away when working too. EVA foam. Why do we use this material over others such as Warbler or cardboard? EVA foam is flexible, lightweight, durable, easy to work with, and formed to your liking. Warbler and cardboard are also fantastic in their own way, but to avoid overwhelming you with other options, let's keep it simple and stick to EVA foam. What thickness of EVA foam do you use for armor? This really depends on the build, but again, I'm going to keep it simple. Most builds, from my experience of using patterns and making my own, use a lot of 5mm thick EVA foam. For details, you want 2 to 3mm foam. What density do I pick and what does this mean? To put it simply, the density is basically how squishy the foam is. So high density means it's not very squishy, which means it's harder, sturdier, less flexible than your low density EVA foam. What is the density used for? High density will be usually for props, helmets, or armor that you need to really hold a rigid form. To be honest, in my opinion, you can make any density work for anything you build, but I want you to start off with your standard EVA foam. Don't worry about the different densities for now. Contact cement. What is contact cement? Contact cement is a powerful solvent-based adhesive, often called contact glue or impact glue, that creates a permanent strong bond between two large flat surfaces such as laminations on countertops. It requires applying an even coat of adhesive on both surfaces, allowing the solvent to evaporate and the surfaces to become tacky, and then pressing them together firmly. Once contact is made, a strong instant bond forms and there is no need for clamping. Why this glue? It's perfect for EVA foam due to its flexibility. Glues like hot glue or super glue will crack or snap when you bend the foam that you applied it to. Give it a go and you'll see what I mean. Hot glue and super glue are still amazing and great for applying non-flexible details and attachments though, so you'll want to have these on your armor journey as they are very useful. But it is very toxic and smelly. Wear a respirator in a well-ventilated area. If you get it anywhere by accident, it can be removed with acetone, so keep that on standby too. My favorite way to apply this is with a silicone spatula, like what they use for cakes or mixing food. When the glue dries, you can easily peel it off and bam, clean applicator. I also like to have a rag on standby.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, what is that?
And yes, I know it looks nasty, to occasionally clean the spatula of any messes. A heat gun. What is a heat gun? A heat gun is a tool you can get from your local hardware or tool store that basically heats up any surface due to the high temperature settings. Think of a super powerful hairdryer. Why can't you use a hairdryer? Technically, you could, but the temperatures that a hairdryer max at are not hot enough for EVA foam, and you'd probably be there for a long time getting the foam hot enough to form. Why do we need this? Heat guns are great for heating up your foam. You just glide it all over both sides, then press it against something round until it cools, then ta-da! You have a circular shape for your EVA foam. This is great for getting armor to form around your body nicely. Cutting tools. Utility knives such as Stanley knives, snap-off knives, and X-Acto knives are great for cutting foam. You can also use craft scissors, but my favorite tool for cutting is utility knives. Make sure to grab some extra blades because you will be going through them a lot on your journey. A cutting mat. This is technically optional. If you have an old table, you're happy to give more scratches, but over time they can get annoying and interrupt your cutting from the bumps. A cutting mat will protect your table and it serves as a ruler too. A Dremel. This is technically optional too. Dremels are great for sanding and adding cool details to your armor. It makes sanding a lot quicker and easier, but you can still make armor without it. Getting different grits of sandpaper and wet sandpaper will do the job too, it will just take a lot longer. Markers. This is what you'll use to trace around patterns or draw on your foam where you're going to cut. You can use pens for white EVA foam, chalk, or a skewer for black EVA foam. And no, the color of the foam does not make a difference with your crafting journey. Paper patterns. Yes, for the beginning of your foam journey, I want you to find a simple paper pattern for armor. I'm not talking about Monster Hunter armor patterns. I'm talking about simple gauntlet, chest, pauldron, whatever armor that isn't themed or for a specific character. Having a base for armor pieces and better understanding of how it works and looks will help you in the long run with creating your own patterns. There are many free and paid patterns out there you can use. If you don't have a printer, you can use your local library or office supply store to print it for you. When you print, you'll want to print at a custom scale of 100%. You can increase or decrease the percentage depending on sizing. I'll link some videos that explain this method better in the description. Pins. I found pinning the pattern to the EVA foam the best method for me. Some people tape it down, but using pins is just a lot quicker for me. And no, you can't see any holes once you've primed and painted your armor. Primer and paint. To put it simply, you'll want flexible primer and paint to avoid cracking. Most commonly used primers are Plasti-Dip and Flex Bond. As for paints, I hear Liquitex are great too. This is all personal preference. I personally love Liquitex Heavy Body Paint and Jacquard Lumiere Acrylic Paint. I'm so sorry if I pronounced any of those wrong. You can also use a silicone ice cube tray to put your paints in. Once it dries, you can peel it off. Stick with your basic paintbrush, paints, primer, and water. When it comes to where to buy these items from, you don't need to be fancy when you're starting out. You can get EVA foam for really cheap from eBay or AliExpress, as well as the tiles from Kmart, Spotlight, Bunnings, or your store equivalent. Glue guns, pins, spatula, rulers, glue sticks, super glue, almost everything you can grab from your local dollar store or bargain store. Tools such as the heat gun and Dremel, I don't usually recommend getting super cheap or secondhand for safety reasons. You're better off getting one from your local store as they are easier to troubleshoot. That's basically it. Here's a list of everything you'll need. Bam! And in my next video, I'll show you how to use these materials. I'm Daniela Makes Things. I hope you found this useful and I'm keen to help you on your journey. Thanks for watching. Bye!